All right, welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals for Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. First item, acceptance of minutes from July 17th, 2025. Is there any discussion with regards to the minutes? Nope. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes?
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, it is unanimous. All right, now we can get on to the new public hearing for 19 Surrey Drive. Mr. Secretary.
Okay. Notice is hereby given that the North Andover Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing at the North Andover Town Hall at 120 Main Street, North Andover, Massachusetts, Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. to all parties interested in the petition of Rachel and Brandon James for property at 19 Surrey Drive, map 74, parcel 46, North Andover, Massachusetts, 01845, in the R4 zoning district. The applicant is requesting a variance pursuant to Town of North Andover zoning bylaws, section 195-7.3, table 2, dimensional requirements for one side setback in the R4 zoning district for the purposes of constructing a 14-foot by 30-foot garage. Specifically, applicant has requested a side setback needing a relief variance of 12 feet. The side setback proposed is 3 feet, and the side setback required per table 2 is 15 feet. Application and supporting materials are available for review at the Office of the Zoning Department located at 120 Main Street, North Andover, Massachusetts, on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from the hours of 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Friday from the hours of 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. By order of the Board of Appeals, Michael T. Liss, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Killalea. All right, welcome.
Good evening.
Would you please identify yourself for the record?
I'm Brandon James of 19 Surrey Drive.
All right, thank you. And can you tell us a little bit about what you've got?
Yeah, so we had the opportunity to buy the house back in 2017. Due to that, I work for the police department in town, so it made my life a lot easier to commute. So we had lived there. We've had no issues. Last September, we had our daughter born, so she'll be a year actually next week. And
Congratulations.
Since she's been born, we have completely run out of space, and the most logical financial way we could think of doing it is building a detached garage, and like with the least amount of financial hardship, the way we're looking, without like building onto the house or building out back. And the way our yard, which we do have a nice rectangular yard, but putting it anywhere other to that left or right, and putting it to the right would put like a more of a strain on the neighbors. So this obviously is just going next to the parking lot of the senior center there. It was our easiest way of doing it. So putting it right next to that fence would require that 12-foot setback, or variance, sorry. Putting it anywhere else, due to, unfortunately, because of the senior center in that building, the topography is significantly different.
Yeah.
And it's actually flooded out my house 3 times, so I have replaced 3 floors due to that. And so the only area that we actually have that is not affected by the drainage is literally right where we're going to put that garage.
Okay.
Out in the back, it actually holds water longer, and you can see things starting to like settle and move. So that is why we were requesting that variance.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyone want to start off with some questions?
Do you intend to use it as a garage or more as a shed? Is it true you've got an existing garage under the?
We do currently have
Yep.
a garage, and that is now, because the old room we used to use is now my daughter's room for storage. Because we don't have a basement, and our attic is pretty much completely full with like the AC ducting and stuff, so we really don't have much storage space. So most of that stuff has gone into the garage, along with like, we removed the car that was in there, so that's now there. So it will be used as a garage and storage, both.
A lot of items come along with the children.
Oh, man. Well, we also have an 11-year-old boy, so it had been a while. So,
Yeah. Well, and it's not like 11-year-olds don't have anything either.
no, like, he's got a lot of stuff as well, so, yeah.
Unfortunately, no sharing between the
No,
newborn and the 11-year-old.
No.
Nope.
The There's no garage door on the shed, right? It just,
There was a garage door, yes.
oh, it is?
Yep.
And so you said that, that the immediate abutter is the senior center.
Yeah, so the parking lot is right to the left where our fence is, and
Yep.
then directly behind us is where there's a couple trees, then an embankment, and then it's the parking lot for Minco Development.
Yeah.
So we're literally square right in the middle of that when it happened, so.
But the nearest building then is like 100 feet away.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then our neighbors next door, well, I have some letters of recommendation. They
Yeah.
were actually gonna come, but every single one, two of them are away, and one just ran into something for work, so he handed me his recommendation as I was walking out, so.
Yeah.
I have those. Everyone's in support. No one has any issues. It is going to be a well-designed. It's going to match. It's going to look like it came with the house. But it was like the least financially burdened to us, and it makes no effect to the neighbors or the area and neighborhood. So,
Yeah.
Did this flooding happen before the
Nope.
senior center?
no. We placed 3 floors. They ended up messing up or cutting into my French drain, which was there prior to us buying the house. We didn't know where it was, and it flooded it out. We got it fixed, and then the drainage just kept coming from where they were putting the snow and everything, and it was coming down, and it flooded my house 3 times. Twice I was at work, my wife would call me, and she's like, hey, we're flooding again, so take the night off, go fix it all, and go through it that way. I mean, other
Is
people.
there an opportunity to fix some of those drainage issues with this project? I
So
have no idea.
the French drain has been fixed.
Yeah.
The holding of the water in the back, I don't know if that ever will be fixed. So it's,
Bummer.
yeah, trust me, I know. That backyard is like the selling point of the house too, because nice rectangular, good grass, it was great. So, but all the trees are down now, it's just the building, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this might just be a little bit more personal in the sense of, is this being done more so because you now have another child, or because of the issue of trying to alleviate what you're dealing with the flooding?
No, so we need this for storage and stuff, but the only viable area to put this garage is right there.
Because of the flooding.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is that, so let's assume you weren't having the flooding issue. Would you still be wanting to put a shed in?
Yeah, we would want to put the detached garage. We still need the storage regardless of the flooding.
In other words, the flooding hasn't eliminated storage space for you. That's not the.
The flooding has eliminated storage
Yeah.
space other than the fact because
You had to
downstairs
redo
is
the
like our
floors.
living room, right? So,
Yeah.
but we've just replaced the floors and all that. So
Yeah,
luckily it hasn't happened since. I'll cross my fingers it doesn't happen again, you know?
Yeah.
Had a drought.
That is
There
not
were
fun.
A couple record years of rain in the last, since 2017.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Hopefully less of that.
I was working during all of them,
Yeah.
so.
Will it give you some privacy also?
Yeah, it'll definitely give us some privacy from the senior and to the senior center. Like, I don't know if they necessarily want to look into our backyard all the time. And then also a sound deadening, which used to be by all the trees. I'm sure you guys all know the traffic in town is slightly increased, especially on Sutton Street. Everyone coming from Amazon, that is an all-day long thing and all night, including 3 and 5 a.m. So I can hear that all night long. So in hopes that it'll also create like a sound deadening as well.
I mean, I'll say I'm normally not a double-digit setback person, but,
I think even you in this case.
Is
But-
that why you were pushing about the flooding? It's like, well, we have to because of the flooding.
listen, I'm just saying, I think if you take into perspective the history of this property, I think my mouth can remain shut on double digits for once.
It's too late. I mean, you just brought it up.
Except for I'm not coming at him for it.
Yeah.
I didn't even question him,
But she
moving
had
the
to put it on the
She has
record.
such a
For her
reputation, we have
integrity,
to.
you know?
I appreciate it, thank you.
So I'm assuming you are not here to comment on this. Correct. Okay, so we don't have, Terry, has there been anything that's been emailed in to you? Okay, so I think rather than having you distribute the letters, because I don't think we'll be able to
Yeah.
judge them in the amount of time we have, I think usually we would ask you in lieu of anyone being here or mailing anything into us, did you talk to them and did you, and how did
Yeah.
it go? And you've already sort of conveyed that. So I think
Yeah.
we've gotten that critical part.
Yep, they were gonna come, but honestly, the 2 of them were on vacation, they'd happened this, and then the other one literally just ran into something work, handed it to me over the fence as I was walking out, so.
Look, I understand making time on a Tuesday night is not a trivial thing for
Yeah.
most families. That is not easy, so I
And it's
understand
the house
that.
directly next to me, the Jacksons, and across the street, the ones that would have the most visual impact, I would guess.
Yeah.
And they're all in support, so.
Great. All right, anyone else have any further questions or thoughts they'd like to convey before we? All right. Well, so at this point, we are, with your permission, we can close the public comment, we can deliberate amongst ourselves, and then we vote. And the vote, you would need 4 out of 5. And so, do you feel comfortable moving to
Yes,
that
sir.
stage?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank
All
you.
right. Do we have a motion to close the public comment?
I'll make a motion to close the public comment.
Do we have a
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are deliberating.
Who's, before we begin, who's voting tonight and who is not?
So I think we've got all 5 permanent members. So we're gonna.
So, maybe nothing.
I'm out. I got my one comment.
We very much value your input, so.
I got sworn in today.
Hey, that's what. All right,
I would say in addition to, you know, the fact that the parking lot is there and that's the only spot with the flooding, it's also just kind of an oddly shaped lot in the sense that it's very long
Yep.
and like there's
It's a little
kind
bit
of
skewed,
just
too.
nowhere else to do, huh?
It's a little bit skewed, too.
Yeah,
So,
so it's like.
I think that's a
yeah,
hardship.
Yeah, I think
not
it
quite 90
makes
degrees.
sense.
I have no trouble with this,
Yeah, I
and
mean-
I don't think anyone in the senior center is worried about a building being too close to their parking spot.
There's much bigger buildings right next to the parking.
Or they can hit anything.
You know, in my philosophy on these things is we don't want to create situations that neighbors didn't sign up for, right? In having something put right up on the edge of their property, and that is not the case that we are worried about here. So I think this is, to me, a pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and I think when that whole development of the apartments and senior center went through, you know, those developers gave us plenty of talk, you know, there was plenty of concern about the privacy of your property and the others on that road, and whether you got as much privacy as you wanted or not, I don't know.
Stated
I'm not
concern.
sure, but, you know, this would afford you a little bit more anyways, so I'm for it.
Any other thoughts? Ms. Jacobs is holding it in. All right. Mr. Killian, would you
So-
like to?
So, just to be clear before I start,
Yeah,
we have a site plan, and then we have sort of a packet of plans and specifications. I guess it's actually called a quote that includes plans and specifications.
Yep.
Should that be read in?
I mean, it's not particularly relevant to the case at hand because it doesn't involve any like height restrictions or anything like that. There's nothing specific to the building, so I think we can just go with the site plan.
Yeah, I would just go with
Yeah.
that. I think
It's
that's,
the footprint that matters more than anything else.
Right, because
All right.
we're not making any other special considerations with regards to the building.
Okay. So, do we have to close, or I
No,
just?
you
That's
make
right,
the
I'm
motion
sorry.
to vote.
I make a motion to approve a variance pursuant to the Town of North Andover zoning bylaws, Section 195-7.3, Table 2, dimensional requirements for one side setback in the R4 zoning district for the purpose of constructing a 14 by 30-foot garage. Specifically, applicant has requested a side setback needing a relief variance of 12 feet. The side setback proposed is 3 feet, and the side setback required per Table 2 is 15 feet. Would also incorporate the plan by Dillison Roy Civil Design Group titled Building Permit Plan dated July 7th, 2025.
All right. Mr. Testa.
aye.
Ms. Greco.
Second.
Oh, so do we have a second? Sorry.
Second.
All right.
Laura?
All right. Mr. Testa.
Aye.
Ms. Greco.
Aye.
Mr. Killian.
Yes.
Ms. Jacobs.
Aye.
And I am an aye. You have it, sir.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Have
Yeah,
a good
thank
night.
you.
Good luck
You
with
as
it. Hope it works out for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Clerk, are you ready for the next piece?
Yep. Notice is hereby given that the North Andover Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing at the North Andover Town Hall at 120 Main Street, North Andover, Massachusetts, on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, at 7:30 PM, to all parties interested in the petition of William McElroy for property at 111 Barker Street, map 35, parcel 103. North Andover, Massachusetts, 01845, in the R2 zoning district. The applicant is requesting a variance pursuant to Town of North Andover zoning bylaws, Section 195-3.3, Section S, Table 2, dimensional requirements for one side setback in the R2 zoning district for the purposes of constructing a 12-foot by 16-foot shed. Specifically, applicant has requested a side setback needing a relief variance of 20 feet. The side setback proposed is 10 feet, and the side setback required per Table 2 is 30 feet. Application and supporting materials are available for review at the Office of the Zoning Department located at 120 Main Street, North Andover, Massachusetts, on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from the hours of 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., and Friday from the hours of 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. By order of the Board of Appeals, Michael T. List, Chair.
All right, welcome. If you could please identify yourself for the record.
Good evening, William McElroy, 111 Barker Street.
Welcome. And tell us a little bit about what we've got here.
So, my wife Tiffany Godden and I have been at this residence for just over 4 years, and we are currently waiting for child number 4. Actually, it could be any day.
Oh my goodness. Good luck.
So we're in a similar situation in that we just need some space. Our garage is filled with bikes and tools and toys, and we have a pool in the backyard. We have patio furniture that needs to go somewhere in the wintertime. We have a riding lawnmower that just sits under a tarp because there's no place for it to go. And so we have a narrow lot. Most of our square footage is in the front yard, so it doesn't really make sense to put a shed there. And if we take 30 feet off of either edge of the back lot, we're talking the middle 50 feet of our lot. We've got a pool there, a little bit of grass. So there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of opportunities for where to place the shed. The side that we've selected, there's already a fence that exists there from when we bought the house. The first section of the fence, if you're looking at the plot plan there, is a vinyl fence, and then it jets out with a chain link fence. And so we want to put the shed there. It would just kind of fit where that existing fence line is. And then on the other side of that fence, outside the fence, is a line of very mature trees. So it just makes sense with the lot that's where it would just fit in.
And I assume this shed does not yet exist.
The shed does not exist.
Okay.
Correct.
We get a lot of cases where the shed already exists, so.
Drove by it today. It does not exist. And on the other side of that fence, even though it's very close to the plot line, the property line, it's just a long driveway. There's not like a
Right.
house there.
So you can see our plot, and actually both sides of our house, it's long driveways. On the right side, there aren't any trees over there really, and those neighbors are right behind our house. So they would have a very good view of the shed out their front door. On the left side, that driveway is much longer, goes further back, and they just wouldn't be able to see it from their house, so.
Yeah, I can't even see the house from the road, so I don't think
Right.
they'll see your shed.
Yeah.
And I assume have you talked to the neighbor at all?
Yes, both.
Yeah.
Because, so, the Greens, who are
Yeah.
the immediate neighbors, it's their
Yeah.
driveway.
Right.
I spoke with them, and then one more house over. They would have a view, but I talked to them, and they were like, it's your house, do what you want. So,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And along their driveway, they have a pretty good width of lawn between their driveway and your property line. So appearance-wise, if we look at this, you know, it seems like you're right up against, I mean, you are close to the property line, but you're not that close to the driveway. It doesn't look like it's crowding in on the edge of the driveway just because they have, I don't know,
I mean, I don't believe so.
30
and-
feet of lawn between their driveway and your property line,
Right.
so,
And it would be their lawn and a couple trees, and then
right.
the edge of the outside edge of the shed.
And with the setup of that driveway going back to that recessed house, there's not even a potential for like a house to be built like directly adjacent to this area. So it's not even like it could be a future person's problem.
Well, I mean, we have setbacks for a reason, right? Regardless, in a sense, of what we're dealing with, of exactly what's next to it. I guess one of the questions I have is, you're looking to make your setback only 10, when it's supposed to be 30. I understand wanting your shed to be somewhat out of the way. I appreciate that. You don't want a shed smack dab in the middle of your property. I question, though, why you don't turn it so that you do create at least a bigger space. I mean, you have the 16 and then you have the 12. So if you turn it, do we not add some side setback that at least gets us a little bit closer to 30 versus closer to, I mean, you're looking for more than half.
Right.
That's my crutch on this.
With the proposed size of the shed, I suppose if I put it sideways and still flush with the fence, that would gain 4 feet, because I proposed a 12 by 16 shed.
So I guess to that point, right, so the fence that that's outlined on the site plan, that already exists, right?
You're right, it predates us purchasing the home.
So if you were to move the shed in 5 feet, it would basically just have a 5-foot gap between the shed and the fence.
Correct.
It would kind of be dead space that doesn't get
Correct.
used for anything.
Right.
Is the shed gonna be 100% inside the vinyl fence that's there right now?
Not the
No.
vinyl fence, the chain
It's
link
the
fence.
chain link fence, it would just,
So the vinyl fence is just this part here, and
Right.
then
And
this
then it
part on
becomes
the
a chain
back
link
is chain
fence.
link fence.
Looks like it's a
So
But
it's like a
yes, my-
Looks
corner.
like it's a vinyl coated chain link fence, though.
my plan would be for the front and left side of the shed, it would essentially eliminate the fence, so that everything just lines up with where the fence currently exists.
Because I guess my point is that if you, I think the one way you probably could have it get, further set back and not look really awkward would be to pull it forward and be along the end of the vinyl fence, right? Because that would give you an extra few feet, but it would come way out into your yard in doing so,
Right,
which is, I assume, what you're trying to avoid.
hopefully, it just seems like, yeah.
Yeah.
As someone who's done a lot of landscape work, I would probably recommend a little bit of a buffer between the chain link and the shed. Otherwise, like debris and leaves will just get caught in there, and you'll rot out your shed pretty quickly. But that has nothing to do with this conversation. Just a bit of
Right, I
advice.
mean, my plan would be to eliminate, the fence would just end where the shed begins.
Oh, you would take the fence down
Just take that
entirely.
little corner out,
Gotcha.
and the shed would be the fence in that
Gotcha.
section.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Terry, I assume we have not gotten any letters in for this? Any other?
Well, you know, having these, the way this was subdivided, I know we've sometimes called the lots that are adjoining him, like pork chop lots, where they're narrow in front and they open out and back. And, you know, that sort of creates this issue a little bit more than it might have been, so.
It's like a perfectly almost rectangled lot. I mean, you can't
It's
get,
a parallelogram, really.
it's not like we're dealing with
But
a
having this,
triangle.
he's got this narrow strip of land that's the abutters that opens
But
up
that's
back
the-
here.
But that's the abutters, that's not his. I mean, he could even put this closer to the house and get his house and the garage are both more than 30 feet from from the setbacks. So,
Well, where though? He has a bulkhead right at the left corner of the
Well-
house, back left corner of the house, and then a deck.
I don't know what the actual okay, so he's talking about using this for lawnmower, outside stuff, toys. I don't know what the distance between the bulkhead and the deck is. Can he not put it in there? I don't know what that distance is. Same thing with the deck to the pumping station. I mean, I don't know how much, maybe our commissioner of building can tell us. I don't know what a pumping station is and what kind of clearance you need for that. Could it not go right there? I understand that in many ways this might be somewhat the most logical, but it's also doing only a 10-foot setback. It's more than half of the setback.
Well, he probably has windows in the back of the house, and you put a shed right up
There's
against it.
there's a garage right there, so I don't know how much, are there windows in the back of your garage?
No, that's where our pool equipment, like the filter and.
Is that what the pumping station is for the
Yes.
pool?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know about a pumping station. I don't.
They just, I mean, that's.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Yeah, we have a pool pump,
Right,
pool,
right.
a pool
So
filter.
That's what they call a pumping station.
Oh, okay.
It's pool equipment.
I mean, could he not enclose the bottom of the deck? I mean, I understand what he's looking to do, but I just don't know if it justifies more than half of the side setback.
How tall is that deck in the back?
3 steps,
Okay, fine, so it wouldn't fit there.
like just how high I come up from
Yeah.
the grass?
Yeah.
Three,
Well,
it's
that's what
three,
she was talking about with
three,
enclosing it. Potential
it-
storage.
at least 3 steps,
Yeah.
3 steps.
Um,
The bulkhead is maybe 10 feet from the edge of the
Is there
deck.
landscaping or patios around the deck or between the deck and the pool?
I'm
sure there is.
landscaping, I mean, there's nothing other than plants. There isn't, actually, around the pool, there are stones because the lot slides back down behind the pool, and so that's built up around the backside to, I guess, like support the backside of the pool, but not right where the deck is.
Gotcha.
Maybe 10 feet out from those 3 steps is where that begins.
Even putting the shed next to the bulkhead would give him a bigger side setback, and he could still get a lawnmower in between the side of his property and the deck.
So like the inside corner of the vinyl fence on the left, back left of the house, kind of.
Well, right, you have the bulkhead,
Yeah, left
so
of
if
the
he
bulkhead.
turns it, so it's going 12 this way and 16 that way. I mean, I'm not good at math, but that fits.
It's what you're trying to have.
Well, I'm trying to not put it in the middle of his yard, but find a little bit more of a compromise that gets us closer to at least half
But
of the setback.
I guess, are we that hung up on not letting a shed get too close to the edge of a
Well,
property?
you asked earlier what the purpose, or like, we have setbacks for a reason, like, and
Yeah.
I view the setback reason as mainly being making sure that a garage or a shed isn't,
Or
you know,
the house?
like right next to someone's house, so that they look out their window and they just see a building. Whereas like, nobody is ever going to be looking at this from their house, you know what I
Except
mean?
Right,
for-
so we also have variances for a reason.
Right, except for the bylaw doesn't state 30 feet unless there isn't a structure next to it.
No, but it says 30 feet or else you have to come here.
Right.
And we have
Yeah.
to use our judgment.
And we have to think about what the underlying purpose of the zoning is, because like when they're creating the zoning, they're trying to create a one-size-fits-all solution in a town where that doesn't, where reality exists. And I would say in this case, the purpose of that setback for zoning is not to just make sure that sheds aren't built anywhere near a property line, it's to make sure that they're not built near someone's kitchen window. You know what I mean?
I agree, but I also sit here and say, what other options are there that puts him a little bit more in compliance?
And I appreciate that. The consequence of doing that would mean that this poor gentleman would have to redesign his plot and come back here in a month And are we really willing to do that over a shed?
I mean, I think you face that risk when you go in front of any board.
Absolutely. And you face that risk, and if it was a house being built there and the neighbor was upset about it, I would absolutely be pushing for that because those stakes are worth it.
I am only one person, so it's okay.
Any other thoughts or comments? Or questions? Mr. Ginsburg, Ms. Rutherford, you both have been very quiet today.
I mean, I would echo what Laura said, I think. I mean, I think, you know, it's a shed, it's under the circumstances. I mean, I was kind of thinking, you know, if it were a situation where the neighbor's lot and home on it were situated completely differently, and it were, you know, it's just a different situation, he might not be here, or there might be an abutter who here to oppose it, and that's just not the case here. And you know, that's just my view. I mean, I think where there's literally no harm, and you know, it's also not a situation where I think is pointed out where there's any likelihood that in the future a structure or home is going to be built where it is close to that, close to where the shed wants to go. It's hard for me to generate any kind of
I'm many times.
oppositional force.
I'm many times the lone.
But I'm not voting anyway,
wolf.
so. I don't bear the heavy burden tonight that all of you bear. So.
I still think about this house from like one of my first meetings where they wanted a height variance just because it made the house look better. And there was no abutters that could even see the house. And it made me so mad, but I didn't feel like I could say no because it didn't harm anyone, even though there was no point to it.
I remember that one.
It was so
It
frustrating.
was sunk into the ground. Like
Yeah.
it was
Meanwhile, we
Great
like
Pond
ripped.
Road.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the same meeting, we like ripped away some guy's dream of having a multifamily house with like his adult children because there wasn't. I mean, there granted was not space on the property for that, but he was trying so hard to do something good, and we had to say no. And these people just wanted to not have a continuous roof line, and we had to say yes. So like, if we're gonna let that one slide, I think we can let this one slide.
I think I voted no on that.
You did?
I think
I
so.
think you did.
I think I did because that's me.
I don't think I even got to vote in that one.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's not burn too much of this gentleman's time. I think we are at the point where, with your permission, we can close public comment and move to deliberation. And then we would vote, and as before, you would need 4 out of 5 votes to pass.
Yes,
Sound
thank
good?
you.
All right. Do we have a motion to close the public comment?
Good.
I move to close public comment.
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We are deliberating. Any additional thoughts?
I think we already did the
Yeah,
lip.
we
I know, we kind of already did it. I kind of just let people go because I figured we're going to say it anyways.
I think given that, like, you know, he would have to make a choice to go forward with the vote or not go forward with the vote, I'm glad that we deliberated before we closed public comment.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand Alexandria's point that we could move it to a place where we would have less setback. I also think that both if I am the resident and if I am the neighbor, I would like that setup less. Because it would be putting the shed closer to the front where you go by and you see it. So, my view is, I think, I appreciate not wanting to have more setback than necessary, but also I'm not really interested in making the design worse just to enforce that zoning protocol, if it makes it worse in every other way. All right. Shall we read the motion?
Well,
and we should.
in this one as well, I don't think I'll include this set.
Yeah, no, I think, I do think you could maybe cite the photograph that's on the backside, just because that's a depiction of where in the yard it is, and that's a useful piece of context.
Okay? All right, Mr. Clerk. Let's see. Make a motion to approve a variance pursuant to Town of North Andover zoning bylaws, Section 195-3.3, Section S, Table 2, dimensional requirements for one side setback in the R2 zoning district for the purposes of constructing a 12-foot by 16-foot shed. Specifically, applicant has requested a side setback needing a relief variance of 20 feet. The side setback proposed is 10 feet, and the side setback required per Table 2 is 30 feet. We would also incorporate a plan of land by Merrimack Engineering Services dated July 3rd, 2025, and the attached photograph of the backyard location.
Starting at the other side, Ms. Jacobs.
No.
Second.
Oh, yes, we need a second.
Oh, second.
All right, Ms. Jacobs.
No.
Mr. Keller.
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Testa.
Aye.
And I am an aye. So congratulations, you're all set.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
I make a motion to end the meeting?
Do we have
Am
a
I allowed to
second?
do that?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,